Before this video starts, I want to say this. Whenever there is a joke in this video, you'll see this. Alright? Oh, and shout out to Kayak for helping me with the script. Hello everyone, you can call me Sketchy, and today we're going to do something a little different than what I'm usually comfortable doing. But before we get into that, let me ask you, the audience, some questions. Are you a Thomas fan? Do you want to make your own engine OC, or have you designed an OC and need some advice on how to build upon them? Well, I have decided to make a basic guide to making a Thomas locomotive OC. And yes, I mean just the standard steam, diesel, and electric OC. Rolling stock, other vehicles, and people characters can be talked about another time, because in this fan base, the locomotives are the only important characters. But enough with that. Let's get into how one makes a Thomas OC, and I have broken it down into a few easy steps. Step 1. Find the basis. As said previously, there are a multitude of engines you can choose from for a basis, ranging from steam engines, diesel engines, and electric engines. You can find good engines via the internet, Google searches, Wikipedia, or even a good friend who knows about classes of engines. Big thing to note is what kind of jobs the engine was used for, where did they come from, and how big or small the engine is. This will come very useful for further development of your character. Or, if you want to go further than that, and try to fit more into the Thomas aesthetic, maybe make your own custom engine or an engine that doesn't have an exact basis, otherwise known as a freelance design. For example, Thomas may be based on the E2s, but as we can see, he isn't an exact replica of one. Gordon is another example, being based on the LNER A3s with some major changes to his shape. Oh, and before you ask about the whole, insert overused basis OC bad, I say as long as you develop the character correctly, I think it doesn't really matter what basis you choose for them, which we'll be getting into that topic. Step 2. The personality and background. Now that you have your engine basis all figured out, now you need to figure out the character themselves. What is their personality? Where did they come from? What are they like? What kinds of jobs do they do? How does their personality change as time goes on? Personality and background go hand in hand with each other. The journey and adventures you've made for yourself can correspond to personality. For example, let's say you picked an engine who was used for war. What exactly were they used for during that time? How exactly did they turn out afterwards? They could come out as a character who's very traumatized, and that fact could be used as a great road to find themselves again. Or did the character come out hardened from the things that they've seen? This can also make a good way for them to learn how to be more open towards others. Other good examples are as followed. Gordon is basically confirmed to be from the LNER, and is an express engine, corresponding with his arrogant personality. Duck is very proud of his GWR heritage, and it basically becomes one of his catchphrases, but he also has other interests as well, becoming plot points in his own stories. Basically, use the information you have from the basis of the engine to make it the building blocks of a character personality and what they've been through. I suggest using websites such as BR Database, LNER Encyclopaedia, or the Great Western Archive for bases of characters and class members of engines. All of these will really help shape the character into who they will be. Step 3. The little details. Now, it is time for the final touches of the character, and that being the name, livery, add a face, and railroad. Names can be fairly easy to give. If the character goes by the build number, then that could be the name. The character could be named after a famous person, friend, or you could even name the character based off of symbolism or personality. Livery is an interesting topic for an engine. They are the colors the engine has. Liveries can range from what railway they're from, or what paint the workshop painted the engine with. If your character is from the LNER, you could give them LNER green. If the character is from the Caledonian Railway, they could be the blue color. If the engine is from the London Over/Underground, they could be Metropolitan Red. If your engine is a soda engine, they could be NWR Blue. And just to note, this doesn't stop you from making up your own livery. If you want to make up your own mix of colors, go for it. My own suggestion is to use colors that make sense. Maybe go by the color schemes from the color wheel. Complementary colors, tridactic, etc. Go by colors that make sense. Honestly, this part is more of a suggestion since there are Thomas characters with no faces, but since the majority of characters do have faces, I suggest giving your character one. When making a face for them, try to avoid making their faces too similar to other characters, and give them a face that can fit with their expressions. You can experiment with shapes and features. You can give them eye color if you really wanted to. You can give them scars, freckles, a beauty mark, or maybe even vitiligo. Maybe give them a big nose, bushy eyebrows, even glasses. Don't be scared of trying new things for designs, and don't even listen to the people who say cringe because all art is subjective. Who cares what anybody says, right? And finally, there's the railroad the character lives on. Where is it located? What kind of railway is it? What other engines work on it? Soon enough, you have 75% of your world building finished. And that's about it. Follow these steps and tips, and you'll have an OC that everyone will want to make a custom of. And oh, if anything goes wrong while making your OC, just remember, you took the advice from the girl who literally knows nothing about locomotives and railways. Bye!